Marshall was a young man full of hope and ambition, but his heart had known much sorrow. Born and raised in Nigeria, Marshall grew up with a deep sense of pride in his Igbo heritage. His parents, both hardworking, nurturing, had instilled in him the value of respect, loyalty, and commitment to family. As an Igbo man, he understood the significance of tradition, community, and love. He longed for a partner who would appreciate these values, a woman who would stand beside him, share in his dreams, and build a life together. Yet, for all his virtues and ambition, love had proven to be elusive. By the age of 35, Marshall had already experienced the sting of heartbreak three times. His first serious relationship with a woman from Lagos had ended brutally. She had seemed perfect at first, elegant, intelligent, and ambitious. They had shared moments of laughter and joy, but the relationship quickly soured when he discovered her infidelity. The betrayal left him feeling empty and disillusioned. He poured himself into his work, trying to forget pain. He didn't give up on love completely. Marshall's second relationship with a woman from Kenya had seemed like it might be his second chance at happiness. They shared many long distance phone calls, exchanged heartfelt messages, and even spoke about marriage. But in the end, the distance proved too much for both of them. Marshall, with his entrepreneurial spirit and growing business in Nigeria, was unwilling to abandon his roots, while she felt pulled toward her own goal in Kenya. The relationship ended, and once again, Marshall was left heartbroken. The third woman from Ghana seemed promising as well. Marshall had met her during one of his business trips. They hit it off immediately. She was beautiful, intelligent, and passionate. They spent months getting to know each other, visiting each other's family, making plans for a future together. But despite the love that seemed to grow between them, she eventually left him, citing emotional distance and lack of commitment. This time, Marshall's heart shattered even more deeply than before. He felt that love was never meant for him. He had tried to find it three times and had failed each time. Marshall was a man of deep emotion, yet he had built walls around his heart. He wanted to believe that love could be real, but he was scared of letting anyone in again. He yearned for companionship, for someone who would love him for who he was, someone who would walk beside him through the ups and downs of life. Yet, as each heartbreak chipped away at his optimism, he found himself losing hope. On one fateful morning, after a restless night spent tossing and turning, Marshall found himself scrolling through Facebook. He had been watching a love movie the night before, a tear-jerking tale of two people who fought to stay together against all odds. It was the kind of movie that left lasting impact. Even hours after it was over, it made him think about his own life and what he had been searching for. The comments on the movie post were filled with praise and reflection on the storyline. Some people shared their own love stories, while others spoke about the hardship they had faced in the relationship. One particular comment stood out to him. It was a simple statement that resonated deeply with his own belief about love. The user, a woman named Lovette, had written, "Love is just commitment and sacrifice. When you really love someone, you must be committed and also sacrifice for them." Marsha couldn't help but smile at the truth in those words. To him, love wasn't just about feelings. It wasn't enough to simply say, "I love you." Real love requires effort, a commitment to stand by someone through thick and thin, to make sacrifices, and to work together for a common future. Marsha, having been disappointed by previous relationship, believed this more than ever. He couldn't resist responding. He typed quickly, "Yes, love is not just about feelings. It's about commitment and sacrifice. Without those, it's just a fleeting attraction." To his surprise, he received a response almost immediately. It was Lovette replying with a simple yet profound message. "You are right, but where can I find such a real love? A love that is willing to sacrifice and be committed to me." For a moment, Marshall paused. Was this real? Was this the kind of love he had been looking for? He decided to take a chance. His fingers flew across the keyboard as he typed. "You can find that kind of love with me. I am that man." The response came quickly. "Really?" Lovette wrote. "I have heard that before, but it never works out." Marshall smiled. He could sense the uncertainty in her words, but he was also drawn to her honesty. "I understand," he replied, "but sometimes you have to believe in something real. Love is worth the risk, don't you think?" And that was how it began. What started as a simple exchange of comments on Facebook posts blossomed into a daily conversation between Marsha and Lovette. They quickly moved from Facebook to WhatsApp, where they could talk more freely and share their life with one another. Lovette was a young woman from Canada, a vibrant and intelligent soul who worked as a social worker. She had always been passionate about helping others and making a positive impact in the world. Despite her access and the fulfillment she found in her work, she had never been able to find the kind of love she longed for. A love that was genuine, committed, and unwavering. For Marsha, talking to Lovette was a breath of fresh air. Her compassion, her wisdom, and her playful humor made him feel understood in a way he hadn't experienced in years. He shared his dream of building his business, his ambition to grow beyond Nigeria, his fears about love. In return, shared her hope for the future, her family's value, and her desire for a deep, lasting connection with someone who would cherish her. They